Wow, 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 wow. What a week. What a week. Bill Cosby, Brett Kavanaugh, this whole hashtag Me Too thing. Oh, I'm sick. So depressed. This is Deetra Kelsey, and you're watching Sister Talk TV show. And today we will talk about that. 212-757-1393. And I have my beautiful, beautiful guests, my sister friends and my brother friend. All the way to my right is my girl, my sister, Cynthia TURNQUEST-JONES, educator and community activist. Welcome back, Cynthia.
Hey, Deidre, how you doing?
I'm okay.
Thank you for having me again.
Always, always. And right next to Cynthia is Mark McPhee, community activist. He's everywhere. You just got back in town, Marker.
Yes, indeed.
Yes. Welcome back also.
Thank you.
Maury Moss, new to Sister Talk TV show. It's the second time here. Third time, right? Third time. Thank you.
Thank you.
And also my sister friend, Dana McBroom.
Yes, yes, yes. And I want to say hello to your viewing audience. We love Sister Talk.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So we're going to talk about that, but first, Bill Cosby.
Hey, hey, hey.
Yeah. 212-757-1393. I can't say enough.
This is gonna be rough.
I know that you all have something to say about that. Bill Cosby, my heart sank. The sentencing.
Heartbreaking.
Heartbreaking. Very heartbreaking. I literally got depressed. And I tend to show how the phrase goes, show my feelings on my sleeves. I was like, oh my God, you know, what an icon, fallen from grace. What did you all think when you heard that, when they put the handcuffs on him? First of all, let's look at the video first. Can we see the video?
Well.
And just decimated the room.
And then I went and saw her the next day. I asked if I could meet with her, because I really didn't even know what she looked like at all.
Yeah.
And she was so present and open and kind, and it was just, and it's one of those things. It just, I was hungry. She made me food.
Oh, what did she make? Wait, what? I love that you showed up and you're like, I might use you in a film. What do you got to eat?
That's exactly how.
Okay, we had technical difficulty. They're getting it together, and then we'll come back. Yeah, so how did you all feel when you all saw that? Did you all see him get handcuffed?
Yes.
I didn't.
You didn't see it? We're going to show it in a minute.
Okay.
There's a little bit of a silence here, and as a person who went through that generation, I've spoken about this before on Sister Talk, because unfortunately, I think it's very, very tragic if it were, and you know, when it's one or two women, but when you have 60 women coming forward now about
you think Janice Dickinson was telling the truth?
I have no idea,
but I will. Yes, well, this sex parties.
This is exactly what I was going to touch on, because, and I spoke to the other guest earlier. You know, that was a very druggy time. It was a time that I lived through. I mentioned my dear friend Nile Rodgers, and I used to laugh because we used to hang out, not in a romantic way, but just as friends. And he would always say to me, "Ha ha, you're the only woman who doesn't want to use up all my drugs." Guys who had Quaaludes were the preferred date at that time. So many people were taking Quaaludes. I know one of the women that I know personally who was out speaking against Mr. Cosby. She was blasted all the time. I was at parties with some of these women. And
please do tell.
Oh, wait.
Let's take this video. We'll come back to you. Let's take this video.
Did you ever think that this day was going to come?
I dreamt of this day for 32 years. And I turned 50 as the best birthday present ever.
An emotional end to what's been a very long road for the women who've come to be known as the Cosby accusers.
You are a sinful and disgusting human being.
And until your death, you deserve every bit of suffering that jail time and prison might bring to you.
Mr. Cosby, any comments, sir?
The comedian, once known as America's Dad, Bill Cosby, taken into custody today after being sentenced to 3 to 10 years in total confinement in either county jail or state prison. It's the conclusion to the jury's decision back in April that found him guilty of drugging and sexually assaulting former Temple University employee Andrea Constand in 2004. 81-year-old Cosby now classified as a sexually violent predator.
The fact that he was deemed a violent sexual predator here means not only is he going to have to be treated differently while in prison, but when he gets out, if he gets out, he's going to have to register wherever he lives for the rest of his life.
The Cosby accusations would help ignite the #MeToo movement. More than 60 women have accused the entertainer of sexual misconduct, dozens of them filling the cover of New York Magazine in 2015. Cosby has insisted any sexual encounters with Constand and other accusers were consensual. He plans to appeal his conviction. Today, his publicist staunchly defending his client.
This has been the most racist and sexist trial in the history of the United States.
Even though Cosby was given the chance to have the final word in court prior to sentencing, he chose to remain silent. His accusers did not. Constand wrote a 5-page victim impact statement, which the judge referenced during his sentencing. Bill Cosby took my beautiful, healthy young spirit and crushed it, she wrote. His wife of 54 years, Camille Cosby, not present in court today, but claiming the DA used falsified evidence against her husband, writing in a statement, "We have now learned and will prove that Bill Cosby was denied his right to a fair trial."
He's going to have to serve at least 3 years in prison, not a day less. At that point, he might be eligible for release. The question is he going to survive that time in prison?
6 months ago, the comedian was found guilty of 3 counts of aggravated indecent assault. A jury of 7 men and 5 women taking 14 hours to unanimously decide Cosby was guilty of drugging and sexually assaulting Andrea Constand at his Pennsylvania home in 2004.
This is a life-altering experience for anyone.
My gosh. Let's just let it out. 212-757-1393. Michael, what do you think? What do you have to say?
Good afternoon, folks. My name is Mike, calling from Harlem, USA.
Hi.
I'll say very briefly, the one thing that people have said to me about him, and it's very reminded me, is so many people of note made some very disparaging remarks about how the woman looks. But because to say they're so ugly, who's on the bottom, I think it's very, stupid. That's why it's a little stupid. You understand? Some people who have I've seen in the media say things that were respected. Oh, the woman is right now. That's a very ridiculous, uncouth, stupid thing to say. So I want to say, live on the prosper, folks.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I agree with him also.
It doesn't matter what the woman looks like.
Yeah.
We continue to victimize the victims.
Right.
And that's a problem. I feel so many ways about this. I can't even begin. I grew up on the Cosby Show. This gave us an idea of what it was ideal of what we should do, what we should attain or hope for as young people. I went to a historically black college because of A Different World. It was an inspiration. My mom also went to Hampton, but
you went to Hampton too?
Yes, Hampton in the house. But I mean, this is almost like the fall of your father, your grandfather.
Yeah.
But at the same time, one thing that we also talked about earlier is that Bill Cosby is not, first of all, not the only person who has been accused of sexual assault or rape or any of it. And he is the only one to date that has been sentenced. And that in itself is an injustice.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was one of the things that I wanted to think about today. The Matt Lauers, the Satan's sidekick,
Charlie
all
Sheen.
of that. Charlie Sheen.
He was HIV positive.
Yes, Weinstein. Weinstein is still walking around having lobster. I mean, in his local restaurant. So this is the issue that is so horrific right now. And in terms of Cosby, I mean, I think why there was a little bit of ambivalence about his situation was because we must note there have been TV shows where this European American actor admitted to molesting children.
Yeah, he's still walking around. Let's take this phone call. Caller, you watching Sister Talk? What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jay, calling from Manhattan.
What's your name again?
BJ.
BJ. Hey, BJ.
Hi.
Is this the BJ?
I have spoken to you. I have spoken to you prior. What's going on? I'm not able to say anything.
Yeah, you can say something. Go ahead, BJ.
But it's something okay, I wanted to speak about Gloria Ulrich, the attorneys for these women.
Okay, you have to turn your TV down. That's probably why you can't hear us.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, thank you. It's new to the show. But
Yes,
thank you.
that's what it is.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
I wanted to say something regarding Gloria Ulrich, the attorney for these 50 cent $2 hoes that have what she did when she first started showing these women that were supposedly had been molested by Bill. They looked so bad, she decided she better start to cut and color their hair and put some clothes on them because they looked horrible. First of all, women are some of the biggest liars in the world.
BJ, come on now.
Let her go, let her rock.
They've been lying on our men for years, okay?
Okay.
When did they meet Bill? That's another thing, okay? That has never been discussed that I'm aware of, okay? I started going to Cali in the late 50s,
okay.
And I went into the Hollywood area. I saw all of these women that were
BJ, because of time.
They were nothing but prostitutes.
Okay. BJ, I've been in Hollywood too, so I know what you're getting at. BJ, I know where you're getting. I'm sorry, BJ, because we had another caller, but the next caller to come in, we're going to refrain from calling these victims or even Bill Cosby out of their names. Yes. We're not going to talk about their looks or anything like that. We're going to keep it civilized, okay? Civilized. Caller, you watching Sister Talk. Caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, my name is Carol. I'm calling from Harlem.
Hi, Carol. How you doing?
I'm okay. I wanted to know that the people discussed actress Allison Mack.
Okay.
Oh.
The sex trafficker.
The sex trafficker of children.
$1 million bail.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know about that.
I didn't even know that.
No. So you just wanted to mention...
Can you tell us a little bit about her?
She was recruiting.
I heard
she was
about
in Hollywood recruiting actresses for this guy. I can't remember his name.
Oh yes. Oh, okay. I know exactly about the situation because one of the daughters of someone that I know was involved in that.
Really? Wow.
Yes, and I won't even the Bronfman girls. But in any case, it was very funny that the first caller, the gentleman.
Thank you, Carol.
The gentleman brought up that so many people were going on their looks. And then the second caller, that's exactly what she's focusing on, the looks. You have to realize that rape and these type of things are about power. It has nothing to do with looks.
Right.
I mean, look at Schwarzenegger with beautiful Maria Shriver as a wife, and he runs off with the maid. It has nothing to do with looks. It has to do with opportunity, and it has to do with power. Now, the only thing that I always brought up in terms of Bill Cosby was that, which was very unfortunate, is that he did not spike anyone's drink. He did not roofie anyone. All of these women said, he handed me a pill and I took the pill. I cannot tell you how many, as I said, that was a drug time. I can't tell you how many times I was offered drugs by rich and powerful men. And
even
I
poor,
just
even
said,
poor broke men.
Yeah.
So,
Yes,
so listen,
well, I never got
even poor broke men. You know
But
what I'm
I'm
saying? You want
saying-
some weed, you want some Henny. But here's the thing.
Yes.
Bill Cosby, I love Bill Cosby.
Yes,
That
we
was
do.
hard to watch.
We love him.
Yeah,
It's
it
hard to
was.
watch.
Right?
Yes.
Right.
But Bill Cosby was skinning them women
Wrong.
in the height
Was wrong.
of his excellence.
Yes.
Right? We saw him as an icon.
Yes.
We still see him as an icon because he broke barriers. He made sure that there were shows on television that were very powerful. Meanwhile, he was in the back doping and doing his thing.
Right.
Right? And one of the persons who spoke about him and spoke about him highly was Richard Pryor.
Yeah.
I said this before.
Right.
Richard Pryor was on the street high as a kite. He said, I was on the street high as a kite. And Bill Cosby was inside of a restaurant and he saw me on the street and he went out there and got me and said, come on then, brother, just hang out with the women instead. Don't hang out with the drugs. Richard Pryor spoke about him, right?
Okay.
And so you got to think about the individuals who Bill was down with. Right? Come on,
Right.
birds of a feather.
And he's not, what's so really surprising, he's not naming any names.
No.
Because he was a part of that circle, a part of that culture.
And he's being real quiet. Go ahead.
You know, the question was, how did you feel? As a black man, I felt betrayed. We all love Bill, and he was an icon. Like we mentioned, he inspired people to go to college. And, you know, but then also at the same time, when you have 60 women that come up, you have to say to yourself, as much as I love Bill, he has to take his lumps.
Yes.
And so he's taking his lumps. But then again, he wasn't the first, he was not the last, and he didn't. I'm not saying boys will be boys, but he didn't do nothing different than what Matt Lauer and everybody else did. And he, and just because he was convicted, I'm wondering how many other of those men that are of high power positions are going to be convicted, and not just the ones on television, but those who hold office as well.
But this is just it. This is what we began with. That that Satan's sidekick is in there.
Satan's sidekick.
Yes, that he is in there. He has perpetuated all sorts of acts. He is not even, and at least he hasn't even denied it. That's why I said, even with what's going on, I can't even blame him, because he came out from the very beginning saying who and what he was, and people still went along with it. And that is what is so sad with Bill Cosby.
Right.
Because I go back to what I said about Brett Kavanaugh. It goes to the substance of your character.
Right.
You know, every woman that you touch is somebody's daughter. And
Or
how,
mother.
yes, or mother, or something, or sister. And if your sister were alone, vulnerable in a room, what would you do?
It's going down. I'm telling you, we going down. Let's take this phone call. Caller, you watch the SISTAH Talk TV show. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, teacher. This is Molly again.
Hey, Lolly, how you doing? I was going to pronounce your name right this time. Okay.
You did, but that's okay. I've been people messing it up for 52 years. It's okay. I just want to say hello to everybody on your panel.
Thank you, Lolly.
You know, I've heard so much being said about Kavanaugh and, of course, about Mr. Cosby. And Mr. Cosby strikes a chord in me, too, you know. We're all black people, and anytime one of us is pulled down, that's all of us get pulled down. I'm angry with Mr. Cosby because he was in a position of extreme power where he was. Not too many black men wielded the kind of power he had out there in Hollywood, or the money power he had either. I was also told that he was planning on buying NBC.
Well, that's when it all started.
This was coming out is when all these women started talking about he did this and that and the other to them. Not just white women, but black women too. I blame him for many things, but the first thing I blame him for is that you are not faithful to your wife. I have a big problem with that. You lied to your wife, you was out there doing things with all these women, and it came back and it bit you on your behind. Yeah, 50 years later, but look at you now. 81 years old, that man.
81 years old, going to jail. What kind of mess is that?
If you live a year in jail, I'll be shocked.
What's her name? Lolly? Hey, Lolly.
Yes,
How do you know that Camille didn't know that he was getting down with the get down the way he was getting down?
I'm not saying she didn't know.
Okay.
Oh, because right.
I'm not going to say she didn't know.
Right.
You can't be married to a man as long as she was married to Mr. Cosby and not knowing.
Oh, of course
He
you
knew what
knew.
he was doing.
Yeah.
But remember, he's Bill Cosby.
That's right.
And it's very comfortable in Cosbyville.
But
in Cosbyville.
Stuff. I'm living well. I got a house, many beautiful homes. Remember, they had a beautiful townhouse right here in New York in the 50s.
They sure did.
But I go back to.
They still have it. And another one downtown in Soho, because I worked in that area.
Okay, but I also go back to the fact that, remember, this was, we talk about show business, and that's an industry in which I am involved. And many of those young ladies did go thinking, I'll be the next Mrs. Cosby.
That's right.
This is the other thing. This happens to all rich and powerful men.
Yes.
Will I move the wife out and move into her spot?
Apparently not.
Yes.
70 of them.
Well, yes.
Not one of them did it.
Exactly.
How's that?
Exactly. Exactly. Because as you.
None of them unearthed Mrs. Cosby, that's for sure.
Well, and of course, maybe because she let him do whatever he wanted to do. The Mrs. Cosby.
I always say that we never know what type of agreement.
Right. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And
I don't want to take up too much of everybody's time, but I want to bring up another situation that happened with Mr. Cosby, and this is going back maybe 25 years now, if that late. A young lady came out and said that he was her dad.
Yes.
And the reason why she did that is because he decided he didn't want to continue paying for her college education and giving her money and stuff like that. So I guess her way of getting vengeance on him was to break out to the public that she was his illegitimate child.
Did it come out? Was that his other child?
No, it came out. I think it came out that it was disproven. It was disproven.
Okay.
But I think her mother told her that was her dad, so she went along with her mother.
Okay. Well, thank you, Lolly. Thank you for your input. You're always welcome.
I know I took up a lot of everybody.
No, that was
I love you, Lolly.
Thank you.
Regularly, I love your show, and you always talk about topics that get me and my girlfriend running our mouths too.
That's why it's called Sister Talk.
Good.
Sister Talk.
Good.
Thank you, Lolly.
I really have to say this though. We all know the standard that we have to live by as African Americans. We have been told that you got to run faster, you got to jump higher, you got to be almost perfect to get half of the success that we see others get. And we have to hold ourselves at a higher standard. Mr. Cosby, I think the reason why it hurts so much is that we saw what we could be. Doctors, lawyers, we could go get higher education, we could do better for ourselves and for our communities. And then to see this kind of fall from grace was just extremely disturbing. He could have, and that's why I agree with Lolly, I'm angry, because I feel like, of all people, you have given us your own, tirade. He's checked the black community many times. Pull your pants up and walk with some dignity and things like that he said to us. And we needed you to hold yourself at a higher standard. I don't want to see you going to prison at 81 years old.
But I have to say that I have always said, that we expect of others what we would do ourselves. And I was just telling someone the other day, when you point a finger at someone, three of them are pointing back at you. So in terms of Mr. Cosby, it is an very unfortunate situation. But I invoke the name of Ossie Davis, because Ossie Davis used to talk about that, guys think that they're more manly because they're bedding all of these women. And he said that the hallmark of a real man is to be able to satisfy one woman well.
Amen.
And yes.
And I met Ossie Davis. He was a true king, and treated his queen with the utmost respect.
Exactly.
He was somebody's uncle. But we talked about Bill Cosby. Let's really, because this is Sister Talk, let's talk about the victims.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the women.
Right.
Now, I'm going to say this. I believe if all his victims were majority black, this would not have come into fruition. I'm going to say that, but by saying that,
I think it was more, I really think, same thing with Michael Jackson's victimization. I think all of this started with Cosby when he had the audacity to go after NBC. See, Oprah learned her lesson and just started her whole new network. She didn't have to go.
And she just sold what? Yeah. She only owns 25% of that now.
Yeah, exactly. Right. But she did not go. She did not go and try to buy one of their networks that they created. Their legacy of Eurocentric TV viewing. And I think that it created such an animus in that hierarchical community of European media personalities that they went after him.
So you're saying you don't think it's because of the white women? You think it's because of NBC?
Women, look what they just did to this white woman in the Congress here just yesterday. Look what they just did.
I get what you're saying. They don't care. But yesterday I said to myself, I said because when all the gun shootings, I said, they don't care about little white children.
No.
I thought it was only they don't care about little black children. They don't care about the white children either.
Yes,
right?
they don't care.
But then yesterday was the day when I said, they don't care about the white woman neither.
Yes.
That's it.
Do you hear me?
That's it.
Women
it's
all about finance.
Citizens.
It's all about the money.
There is a pecking order. Absolutely.
Yes, and you just have to follow the money to see what happens. I think when I brought up Michael before, when he did that record and he said, Jew me, sue me, and then when he did Remember the Time and had all these magnificent looking African people, they started going after him like crazy because remember, it's all about the brainwash and all about the imaging. They have been manipulating minds through the media for the longest time.
Beverly Bond, who started Black Girls Rock, stipulated that Black Girls Rock was fine when it wasn't on BET.
Yes.
Because Black Girl Rock, by the time it got to BET, she did Black Girls Rock maybe 3 times, right? And it was just at a regular cinema and making sure that she honored certain black females, right? And everyone supported Black Girls Rock before it hit BET. When it hit
mainstream
BET, they was like, well, why are you saying Black Girls Rock?
Yeah.
These are the same people who supported her when she did it the first 3 times.
Okay, one question. We're going to have to make this very quickly because we have a minute and a half left. Miss Cosby, Dr. Cosby, Miss Cosby said there that now we can prove that my husband did not receive a fair trial. Do you all agree quickly before I close the show?
There's something to it.
Well,
there's never fairness when it comes to a black person, period.
I think the vigor in which they went after him, she definitely.
Because they unsealed a sealed document.
Exactly.
I do want to, my heart does go out to the victims. I do want to say
that.
And we really don't have time to expound on all that.
And like I said, that's why I feel very sorry for the victims as well. But like I said, all of these women, this was a very drug-fueled time in our history.
It still is. It doesn't make it okay.
Well,
Black America is mad with him because he told the truth. And that's what they're holding against.
Pull your damn pants up. Hey, okay, I see you, stage manager. What's her name again?
Miss Manno.
Miss Manno. I see you. Okay, we're going to wrap it up. Just again, want to thank Zakizi Starman for creating this magnificent show. Did a wonderful job with the set and all that. Shout out to the crew. Shout out to Miss Manno, stage manager. Shout out to Cynthia, Mark, Mari, Dana. And we got 10 seconds left. Christina Ayoleke, Nurel, who else is in there? Debbie. And I am Deetra Kelsey. And I'm wishing you peace, love, and life.